morning, good morning. Clearly, today is going to be a little different than normal. And I feel obligated to cover this topic. This isn't my normal content, but you guys know I believe in raising the consciousness. And since I'm constantly sending people out to go do what we do, I also have to recognize that some of what we do has the potential to damage us and our mental health. We know that one of our dear friends is currently facing a crisis. I have had the opportunity to talk to him, and I'm talking about puppy power. And there's a lot of things going on that people aren't aware of, and I'm not going to reveal it. But we are all living in this world. We all have, whether it's personal, professional, spiritual, emotional, physical, we are all dealing with life. And life isn't always smooth. Even when we have happy moments, there are still sad moments. As an example, your daughter could be getting married, but your mother wasn't there to witness it, or your husband or your wife. And so life is never a smooth ride. And we compound that by what we do here on social media. And so I needed some time to think about how I wanted to address it. And so I've created a presentation of sorts to go through some things, to talk about why what we do could cause us trauma and some of the steps we can take to get past it. Correct, Granny Annie, life is a roller coaster. And if I'm going to send you guys out there to go watch and absorb some of this negative energy, I feel equally obligated to help you or to prevent you from absorbing it. So I ask that you indulge me today. I realize a lot of people aren't going to watch because this isn't my normal content, and that is fine. But this was important to me. Thank you. And even though this isn't quote unquote drama or tea or any of those things, stick around because you don't know when this information could become useful, and it may not even be about TikTok. So I want to start off by saying I am not a mental health professional. I've created this presentation utilizing resources all over the internet. And I will probably put in some personal experiences just so that you understand. I'm going to post, thank you, Granny Annie. I'm going to post some of this on TikTok. The entire presentation will obviously be posted on my YouTube. But there's a form that I definitely want to get out that people can use later on. Actually, there's a couple, but I'll create. P, you have a huge issue. I'm sorry. Hopefully, this won't go on the entire 3 hours so that if people want to come up and share or talk about things, there'll be room for that. I'm sorry, P. I'm so sorry. Please get rest. I'm so sorry, people. Hopefully, some of this will help you. Oh, thank you. What is it? Eight baby? Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, let's get started. So, I need to say off the top that our mental health matters, okay? For everybody. Our mental health matters, and we need to take some time and space to address it on a regular basis. Even when you think you're fine, you need to check in with yourself. It is just as crucial as your physical health. People will run miles, will eat healthy, but they will ignore their mental health and end up in a worse physical position, if not unaliving, because they ignored the issues going on with their mental health. So, this live is designed to raise awareness, educate, and motivate you guys with some practical steps to improve all of our mental health. And I will explain why this is connected to what we do on social media every day in this community. What do I do when I'm so overwhelmed by family issues? Hold that, dog. Hold that. So I think we recognize the dangers of social media for young people, for children, for kids, but I don't think we understand that it is equally as dangerous for us. We do heavy and frequent use. We're watching every day, all day, and sometimes all night. And that can be linked to increases in depression, anxiety, loneliness, and self harm. It can also amplify our negative feelings through comparison, cyberbullying, and addictive behaviors. FOMO, fear of missing out. We're so afraid of missing alive that we will ignore what we need for ourselves to be there for the live. We won't rest. We won't eat. We won't go outside and touch grass because we don't want to miss somebody's life. And sometimes that leads into needing constant validation. You need to know that what you're doing is correct. You need someone to pat you on the back all the time. And when you don't get that, it increases your negative feelings about yourself. And as we know, it disturbs our sleep. We reduce physical activity. We lead to social isolation because we need to watch. So our family may be in there having dinner, and even if we're sitting at the table, we're listening. I went to a doctor's appointment the other day and had my notebook and my phone. Why? Because I was afraid that I'd miss a life? Maintaining a healthy mental state when working to expose the scammers, beggars, liars, and manipulators on TikTok requires that we create deliberate self care, boundaries, and active management of vicarious trauma, which I will explain. The work we do exposes us to persistent negativity and distressing content, which can have a significant psychological effect if not managed mindfully. We are often watching and seeing people at their worst, at their lowest. Just using it, Lisa, as an example, we watched her lose her child, lose her animals. We knew how nasty her apartment was because we heard the police calls or the radio chatter back and forth. We watched her lose said apartment, move in with her family, be homeless, have black eyes, missing teeth. And we're watching that every day. If we don't manage it, it can have a negative impact on our lives. So we need to recognize vicarious trauma. So regular exposure to the harmful actions and manipulations of other people online can lead to vicarious trauma, which may present as exhaustion, mood swings, apathy, irritability, or even physical symptoms like insomnia or changes in our appetite. We have to acknowledge that distress over online negativity is a normal reaction and not a personal failing. Self awareness is the very first step in self protection. So, what we may not realize is that we face indirect trauma by watching these cases over and over and over again. So I'm going to focus on vicarious, which is continuous empathetic engagement with others' traumas, changes, and the person's worldview and it accumulates stress. Think about how we feel about the children and the animals and the innocent people who are taking advantage of by the people we cover. There's secondary traumatic stress, which is very close to post traumatic stress disorder, and it involves reliving, avoidance, or hyper vigilance in response to someone else's trauma. Then we have compassion fatigue, and that involves a reduced capacity to empathize after repeated overwhelming exposure to others' trauma. Sometimes we assume somebody is a scammer based on the fact that they have a CA in their bio. And that's because we see so many other people, all the scammers and whatever that do that, we've lost empathy and compassion. And then we get upset with ourselves. And then there's just straight burnout. And it results from constraint in the working environment, producing stress symptoms of exhaustion, cynicism, and reduced efficacy. I think there are many of us who have reached that point. And my advice is to take a break. You're not going to miss anything dramatic by taking a break. It is okay to turn your phone off. It is okay to walk away for a little while. So, vicarious trauma is the emotional and psychological impact experienced by individuals. And in this example, it's therapists, healthcare workers, first responders, but in my opinion, it includes us as well because it is after exposure to others' trauma, usually through empathetic engagement and repeated hearing of traumatic experiences. How often do we hear Jordan Paul tell the negative stories of her life? Faye repeatedly talking about the trauma in her life. And I'm just naming a few. And some of them have such outlandish stories for why they need someone else's money all the time, it gets tiring. Wait a minute. So the key features. Oh, wait. Okay, yeah. Vicarious trauma is described as the cumulative effect of regularly hearing about or witnessing others suffering, leading to changes in worldview, self identity, and beliefs about safety, trust, and meaning. It is sometimes called secondary traumatic stress, compassion fatigue, or the cost of caring. And this phenomenon is most common in those who work closely with trauma survivors. Good morning, everybody just coming in. So, this is what it can do to us: intrusive thoughts, emotional distress, empathy fatigue, physical symptoms, cognitive changes, changes in our worldview, hypervigilance, avoidance of behaviors. How many people in this community have been doxxed by other people in the community? How many people's homes and addresses and phone numbers have been revealed? Within the community. This isn't even like a scammer got mad at us. This is within the community that we relate to. But we lose empathy. We start thinking to ourselves, well, they upset me, so I'm going to get them. Those intrusive thoughts of how do I get them back? How do I get them back? Not having any emotional regulation. I now no longer care about my fellow humanity. And I'm stuck in my own head. Meow, I wouldn't say any names because there are plenty of names to go around. So picking out one person is irrelevant at this point. Doxing goes all around. And instead of focusing on one person, we need to figure out how we can maintain our own empathy so we don't negatively impact somebody else. So, how do we deal with some of this? I saw somebody earlier say that they set boundaries, and that's exactly right. We need to set strict boundaries for when and how long we're going to do this work. We need to take regular scheduled breaks to decompress. We can use screen time or app limiters to help enforce these boundaries. Well, I stopped trying to stop scammers. I no longer focus on them. I focus on trying to reach people so that they don't become their next victim. They're not gonna stop until people stop giving them money. As long as there's money to get, they're gonna be on here asking. So the goal is to stop the money, not stop them. Thank you, Granny Annie. I appreciate it. We also need to avoid checking social media during leisure, meals, just before bed, or designate some tech free periods every day. I, speaking for myself, I will off. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. I will often have four devices open because that's how many people are on. And it's funny because it feels like they all come on at the same time. And don't let me roll over at 2 o'clock in the morning and find Maggie on. Now, instead of making sure that I'm getting the proper rest, I'm up watching Maggie. And we all know Lisa likes coming on at 9, 10, 11, 12 for the same $20. And guess what? You're ready for bed. You're getting comfortable. You've come down. You're relaxed. And here she goes. And it's again and again and again and again. And what's funny is we all know what she's going to say. She wants $20 for food. My favorite shadow, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened to you. I really am. Wait, I just want to make sure I don't skip anything. Okay. So, we need to build a support network. We need to regularly check in with people we trust or accountability partners who understand the toll of such work. Oh, thank you, Candy. I miss you guys too. Believe me. We need to be there for each other instead of being against each other. Worrying about who has the information first, who can get it out first, who can post it first, who can go live first. This isn't supposed to be a contest. Who can be the funniest? Who can show the weirdest stuff? Who can dig so deep into their lives that we've gone from exposing them to doxing them just because we want to be seen as first. We want to be the most popular. And I'm holding myself accountable because I should have checked on puppy power before I did. Listen, we're not going to argue in the comments. We're not going to argue in the comments. This isn't about that. This should be a true kumbaya moment for everybody. People have been damaged within this community by this community. People's integrity has been questioned. People's lives have been put in jeopardy. All because we're trying to do the same thing. Make that make sense. If doing this work escalates your distress to the point where having a peer, having a family member, whatever community you've created for yourself, if that is no longer working, if taking a break is no longer working, you need to seek professional counseling. There is no shame in acknowledging that you need help. I don't care what the type of help is. There's no shame. Men, women, older people, young people, there's no shame. I have self reported that I have both a therapist and a psychiatrist. It literally was one of the best gifts I ever gave myself. And you want to know what's great about having a therapist and a psychiatrist? They're not a part of your daily life. They are not personally impacted by whatever decision you make. And so they are able to maintain objectivity that your family and friends cannot. So if I care about you, I may not want you to make the right decision because I can see the right decision harming you. A therapist is going to teach you to make the right decision regardless. That is one of the most important reasons for why seeking professional help is so important. They have training and skill sets that are beyond what we personally know. And sometimes the diagnosis is freeing. Because when you don't know what's wrong with you, when you can't put a label to it, then you feel lost. You don't know how to address it. Depression is sometimes not the only thing. Anxiety is sometimes not the only thing. And so that until you get the diagnosis, you have no idea how to fix it. And again, there is no shame in having a diagnosis. And just for the record, in order for your professional to get paid, they have to put a diagnosis on the paper. Even if it's just checking for depression, doesn't mean you have it. So don't worry about that part. Well, I don't want my records to show. And then you end up with what just happened with the young lady who shot up the church with the children in it, or unaliving by cop, or unaliving yourself. None of this is worth your life. I've told you guys many, many, many times that I do my best to keep my personal account separate from my work accounts because I don't want every single time I come on to deal with the scammers that I deal with. So I have my Raising the consciousness accounts. I have my backups, and then I have my personal account. And when I want to focus on personal, that's what I do. I don't have to worry about seeing them. Sometimes I just want to laugh at cats and dogs and see couples prank each other and watch people slip and fall. Like, I don't want to deal with that. So I've curated my feed so that I can avoid them. Sometimes I go to a completely different app to avoid it. Reduce the unnecessary exposure or the things that are most distressing to you. You don't have to watch everything. You don't have to watch everybody. If what's happening, you don't even have to watch everybody in awareness. If there are people within the community that trigger you, avoid them. If you don't like the way somebody else does it, avoid them. It is important to remember that you are the one responsible for protecting your own well being, and that is not selfish. If you need a break, taking it is not selfish. And sometimes it is necessary to continue to help people effectively. People are like, why don't you come on every day? Because I need a break. Very rarely will you see me go into a live and sit there for 2 hours, unless it's my own. Because I still have real life to do too. It's not selfish. But no one is going to protect your mental health except for you. Now I touched on this a while ago and I'm going to touch it again. Parasocial relationships are one-sided connections, and in this case it says celebrities and influencers, but it could be anybody. And it seems like they provide comfort, inspiration, or they're teaching you something. But you have to remember that it is one-sided. Not all relationships you have on social media. White Sox, find somewhere to sit, buddy. Sit down. Not all relationships are two-sided. So relying on these relationships for emotional fulfillment can increase loneliness, isolation, which then could lead to anxiety and depression. I care about each and every one of you. Whether you follow me, whether you're a silent watcher, whether you're watching me from the outside. And you know how I know that I care? Because I care about what I present, how I present it, and I want to show up for you when I say I'm going to show up. But it doesn't mean I want to go on vacation with you. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to maintain my personal boundaries. And that doesn't just apply to me, that applies to you too. Be careful. Not everybody means you good. When I hear about all of these people and giving out their telephone numbers and their addresses, and for what? You want to communicate with people? Get a text now number. Do something else. Protect your peace. Because the moment somebody no longer likes you, your peace is no longer their concern. Do not mistake any one sided relationship with being a mutual or real world connection. Now, let me preface this by saying, I'm not saying that real relationships don't develop on TikTok. They do. I have some. But sometimes you hear about people who think that when someone sings a song, every song is singing it to them personally. They feel like every message, every tweet, every interview is sending them a message. Well, that may be the extreme, but there are spaces in between from normal to that extreme that people can develop on social media. Protect your, I should say protect, I said protect. Protect your peace. Karma, I agree. I'm not saying it's for everybody. This isn't a all or nothing proposition. But this is about recognizing that your mental health comes before all of this. If you're tired and you can't get up and watch me at 6:30, don't worry about it. I'll post it on YouTube if you want to see it. You need to take a week away from all of this. Do it. I've told the mods this multiple times. Your real life comes before modding for me. Period. And I say that about everybody. Or I feel that way about everybody. Good morning to people just coming in. But be mindful. Let me give you an example. I don't understand how people throw money every day in a battle. If you stop gifting them, they no longer know you. They don't care. They care about maybe their top gifters. They may know them by name. But stop giving and they have a problem with it. Give to somebody else and they have a problem with it. But I feel like a lot of people get involved because they're looking for community. And so they stay attached. It's the same thing with the scammers. Some people just like to hear their name called. They like the acknowledgement. They beg to be mods because they're looking for community. And social media is the easiest and fastest way to gain community you might not have in your real life. So even though they know they're being taken advantage of, they stick around because that's the community they've created for themselves. And once you start to get to know each other, everybody's like, hi, hi, how was your daughter's birthday party? How was the graduation? How was the baby shower? And now we feel like we know each other. Karen, it's amazing when it's done well. Okay. You guys know that just about at the end of every live, I discuss self care. I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass. I'm not. It is important. You need to engage in it. You see the word restorative? Especially after particularly difficult investigation. Spend some time outside. When people say touch grass, go outside. Meditate, exercise, connect with supportive people, engage in hobbies, have a hobby, things that genuinely relax you. I love TV and movies. That is my thing. When I'm having a particularly upsetting day, bad day, depressive day, I have certain TV shows that I know will make me laugh that I can watch. The Office is one of them. Enough of a distraction. I love cooking shows. I love to read. Find your thing. I don't care what it is. I want to learn how to crochet. Anything that takes you away from the overwhelming nature of what we do. There have been hours where my house is silent other than the scammer screaming out of my four devices. I'll look up and 5 hours later, the TV's turned itself off, everything is silent, and I have been completely immersed in doing what I do. Now, I'm not complaining about it, it's what I like to do. I feel passionate about preventing people from being taken advantage of. But if I'm not careful, if you're not careful, that can become your entire life. And that's not healthy. If you have to, schedule it. I have a timer in my phone that goes off every day that says read a book. I watch the news at 6, at 10, and at 11. There could be a scammer on, but the news is on too. On the mornings that I don't come live, I try to sleep later or go back to sleep and get a proper amount of rest. Look for uplifting content. Do positive activities. I love that emotional palate cleanser. Remember that. So here goes some healthy steps. Self-care includes getting enough sleep, staying physically active, eating well, connecting with others. I saw Alley Cat. I did not, Vivid. But we can get into some of that after we finish. Check on your neighbors. Check on your family members. Is there somebody in your family you haven't talked to in a little while? Give them a call. You have no idea how that might be uplifting to someone who wasn't expecting it. Practice mindfulness. And that means paying attention to the present moment. A lot of us live in the past or we are concerned about the future. And I don't know, some of you may have heard this, but if you live in the past, you're depressed. And if you're concerned about the future, you're anxious. Imagine being worried to being ashamed and regretful of the past, so you're depressed, and you're worried about every step you're going to take in the future. So you are anxious and depressed. But guess what? You can't be living in this moment. This moment may be fantastic because nothing's happening. But you've missed it because you're worried about the past or the future. Uneventful, smooth sailing is the perfect place to be. When I pray for people, let's say they're having a surgery or they're flying somewhere, I pray for uneventful. Let everything go smoothly. Because that's sometimes all you have. And that's a good thing. Manage your stress. Again, with activities you enjoy. Set some realistic goals. Take breaks from screens and social media. If I'm frozen for you, go out and come back in. We'll get to talking about her in a minute. I just want y'all to realize how destructive this is. I'm talking about mental health, and people are talking about Gabby and Cam in the comments. Do you see how invasive this is? There isn't a single thing we can do for Gabby or Cam in this moment. Not a single thing. No, 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 no. I don't want anybody to say sorry. You beat me to it, TD, not even listening to you. I'm just saying. Do you see how invasive it is? Don't apologize. It's okay. I said it so that people could recognize what's happening. If we're not careful, our real life will be what's happening on social media. And then you're going to look up one day and be like, what's happened to my life? We have to start somewhere. So let's start small. Talk to a friend and don't bring up scammers, beggars, and liars. Let's see how long you could do it. Listen, I can't do it for long. I'm going to be honest. Correct, sweet sassy. Correct. Go for a walk. That one always catches me because, as y'all know, my knees are bad. But I need to start doing it. Daisy May, correct. Do you know how much my man knows about what's going on TikTok? I know sometimes he's like, will you shut up? He would never say that to me, of course, but I'm sure he's thinking it. Check your daily screen time. I believe TikTok has something that you can do. And it's funny because they have it's a black woman and she has this really smooth voice and she's like, hey, you've been scrolling for, and she pisses me off because yes, I've been scrolling for a long time. Get out of here. But it's a good reminder. It's a good reminder. Notice how you're feeling afterwards. Sometimes I go from one scammer to the next so quickly, I haven't even checked in with myself. Sometimes what we do can be overwhelming. Talk to somebody. You have a friend within the community, talk to them. Because other people don't understand what we do. They may feel like it's weird. Or if it's bothering you so much, why don't you just turn it off? We can't. It's our passion project. That would be like me telling my man, don't play um, NFL or college football. He would be like, what? Exactly. It's your passion project. This happens to be mine. Spooky Mom, well, join this community over here. You love what? Thank you, Tanya. He loves to play. He hasn't been playing lately, but real life takes precedence. I love to watch him play because I love to see his smile. When he's not thinking about anybody looking. When he smiles, it warms my heart, believe me. Yes, what's your name? Canna, we do. Make a habit of gratitude journaling or helping others. Simple acts of kindness can boost both your own and others' mental health. I told you guys this. I have a gratitude journal. I created it myself. I have an app called Good Notes. If you like to create documents or if you download a document and instead of printing it out, you want to use it over and over again, get Good Notes. And I think there's another one called Note Taker, but I'm in love with Good Notes. I created a gratitude journal page, one a week, from Monday to Sunday. I have three general things that I'm grateful for, something that I'm grateful for from God, and something that I'm grateful about myself. 5 every day. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes repeatedly it'll be, I thank you, God, for waking me up today. Because that's all I can think of. I'm grateful I have the ability to continue to write. I'm grateful that the cats are healthy. I'm grateful that my man is healthy. I'm grateful that my granddaughter is healthy. Sometimes that's all I can pull out of myself. And then other times it is elaborate. It is so insightful. It doesn't matter. Because guess what happens? At the end of the month, you get to see all the things you forgot about. At the end of the year, you get to realize that your life is far better than you remember at the end of the year. Because it's those little things that you only remember that day, that a week later you've forgotten about. Grateful that dinner turned out exactly how I wanted it to be. Grateful that I woke up on time. You will forget all of that without having a gratitude journal. And being able to go back and see that you found 5 things out of every day, that is part of meditation. That's part of living in this moment and finding gratitude. Correct, Daisy May. And sometimes just helping somebody else. Do how many of you have felt good when you've been able to stop somebody from giving money? It's like, guess what? That's the one person for the month. I don't care if the other 35 people I wrote to went on ahead and gave the money. I helped one person. And that's all I need. It's tremendous. Imagine if you helped somebody in real life. Excellent, Daisy, man. Excellent. Okay. I came across this self care wheel and I thought it was phenomenal. I'm sorry I'm not going to be able to see the comments for a second. I'm going to post this so that people, or you can screenshot it, but I'm going to post it. And when I post it, I'm going to have a wheel that's empty. It'll have physical, psychological, emotional, spiritual, personal, professional, but the wording in the center will be blank. And it's blank so that you can create it for yourself. What works for you? And then, even on a bad day, when you're not sure about what you can do for self care, you can look at your wheel that you've done on a good day so you can see what options you've created for yourself. And I tell y'all all the time, sometimes it's going in the bathroom, shutting the door, lighting a candle, and sitting in quiet. If you don't have a candle, sit in quiet. You know what you can even do? Take your phone, look up a video of a candle burning, and stare at it. But I'm going to publish this with the blank one so that you guys have access. It is my opinion that we should be taking care of each other. If you're good enough when you're helping me make awareness, raise the consciousness, be anti scam, then you should be good enough when you can't do that. When you are suffering a mental crisis. So if you are in a place to extend yourself, listen non judgmentally when someone opens up about their feelings. Let me make something clear. Feelings are not facts. Okay? Feelings are feelings, but it doesn't make them facts. So when you're listening to somebody, sometimes they just need to vent. Someone says, my life is falling apart. I feel like my life is falling apart. And you're like, no, you're not. Feelings aren't facts. Sometimes people just need to express how they feel about a circumstance, even if it's not accurate. When someone's going through a mental health crisis, you don't drag them from one side of the street to the other. You recognize that there's a mental health crisis and you leave it there. I don't expect somebody in a mental health crisis to act the way they used to act. Because if they were acting like they used to act, they wouldn't be having a mental health crisis. If you're going to extend yourself, do it non judgmentally. Recognize they're having a mental health crisis. I'm not going to take anything personally. They're not in their normal state. If it is beyond you, share resources. Isn't that what we do for scammers? Share resources? Share resources. We're not mental health professionals, of course, unless you are. And so I can only help so much. I'm not a professional. Encourage them to seek help, especially if it's a man. Because seeking mental health is akin to being sassy for some men. Or people who are religious will be like, well, all I need to do is pray to God. While that is an excellent first start, they're professionals in that field for a reason. Seeking their help isn't shame. Thank you. And what we're doing today is reducing the stigma. Correct, Daisy man. So this is our call to action, guys. Each of us need to take steps every day to maintain, oh, thank you, sweet Sassy, to maintain and improve our own mental health and to support others in our community. And this is a great one-time presentation, but we have to keep this conversation going within our community. We have to recognize that people, even when they seem happy and ready to go and talk about the scammers and provide information, it doesn't mean that everything is going well at home. It means that they may have pushed it down enough to do X, Y, and Z. Let's reduce the stigma. Let's talk about the fact that what we do is hard. It is work. A lot of people would like to think, oh, all you do is get up and wake up and talk about other people. All I can say is do me a favor. Watch the scammers. Go live 3 days a week for 3 hours where you do most of the talking and tell me if it feels like work or something you threw together. You got to do it regular. It can't be Monday at 3 today and then Friday at 7 p.m. No, people expect you to be there. And then tell me if it's work. Tell me if it's dedication. Otherwise, sit down and be quiet. What we do is hard. It's time consuming. Sometimes it's all encompassing when you're trying to look out for children or animals or the person themselves. It's tiring to reach out to people over and over and over again and either getting slapped in the face, cursed out, ignored. And what I love is that they think that sending money to someone makes us mad. It doesn't. It doesn't make us mad. And if it's making you mad, take a break. Take a break. Because it shouldn't make us mad. Keep doing it. As long as you're doing it, somebody else isn't getting taken advantage of. So please, you keep doing it. But life is hard right now. It doesn't matter what side of the political system you're on. It doesn't matter if you're a spiritual, religious, or atheist, non-denominational. It doesn't matter. Life is hard. And if being rich was the solution, we'd have a lot more happy people, no? How come what was the song? More money, more problems? Daisy May, you made an excellent point. I do not understand why people get on social media boohoo crying, telling their story, and then get upset when people have opinions. If you don't want anybody's opinion, if you don't want anybody to disagree with you, don't put it on TikTok. Don't put it on any social media. Because there's going to be somebody who disagrees with you, even if they disagree that you're crying on TikTok. I always want, like, why? Why here? And expecting everybody to support you. You'll get some support, of course. But there's always going to be a critic. And if you can't handle it, don't do it here. Go cry to somebody else. Because social media isn't the place. Guardians of Valor, I agree and I disagree. I agree because men have the innate ability to separate emotion from fact. Women, not so much. Now we can learn to separate it. As we age, we start to understand that we can't just be led by our emotions. But I'll say this, there hasn't been a woman that started a world war. Mm-mm. Let me sip my coffee on that. That's all I have, guys. That's all I have. That's all I wanted to really talk about today. Now, we can do two things. We can open the floor. I'm going to end early today anyway because I have an appointment. But we can open the floor and let's say for a little while, if anybody wants to come up and talk about mental health in any capacity, the floor is open. And then after a little while, we can do some updates. Or we can intermingle them. It doesn't matter. If anybody wants to come up, the boxes are open. You can share what you want to share. Good morning, Mama Bear.
Good morning, Dee Dee. I appreciate this today because, boy, my mental health has been out the window to the point that I'm so depressed that I could care less about doing anything except for going to work, of course, because I know I need the money. But when it comes to anything else, I don't do it. I don't leave my home. I take care of my dog. But when it comes to, I just want to sit and sleep on my days off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't clean my house no more. I do my laundry, but then it stays in the dryer for weeks or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to find things, but in this small community that I live in,
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing around unless you want to drive an hour
Mm-hmm.
to go for, like a paint night or whatever. I'm not driving an hour to go paint a picture for 20 minutes and then leave.
Right.
I've been trying to work with the community, but no one just seems to care. I have gone to a couple paint nights at the little restaurant next door, try to make friends, try to talk, and they just kind of ignore me. I don't know why. I don't know if it's something about me. I just truly do not know. So this hit home for me today to where I realized that I need to stop. I live in the past so bad it's unreal.
Mm-hmm.
I need to look for day by day. Not
Mm-hmm.
what happened yesterday, not what's going to happen tomorrow, not what bill needs to get paid tomorrow, not what bill I forgot to pay the day before. I need to live for today.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate you and the community you have. And that's pretty much all I got. But I appreciate you so much.
Thank you, Mama Bear. I appreciate it. And let me say a couple of things to you. First of all, you are not alone. You are not alone. And many of us are in that exact same space where if a neighbor needed you to clean their house, you might do it, but you won't do it for yourself.
Exactly. That is exactly right.
And so it is because we've lost some sort of will within ourselves that says we're not good enough to show up for ourselves. So let me say a couple of things. The one beautiful thing about the internet is that you can be anywhere in the world at any time. So I want you to start looking for, if you like to paint and sip, look and see if there are any virtual paint and sips. And if not, guess what? You can start one. Because I guarantee you there are other people in little communities all over this world that would like to do something like that and they don't have anybody. And when you find something that no one else has created, guess what? You get to be the start. You get to be the start.
Right?
And who knows where that could take you? You know, a friend of mine, when we were talking about dating at the time, but I apply it to everything. He said to me, the problem with people in dating is they swim in the puddle next to their door. I swim in the ocean. You don't have to live mentally in the community you're in. You have access to the whole world. So, A, you can get professional help using telehealth. So if there isn't somebody in your community that you can go to and talk about this, there's somebody in your state that does telehealth that can help you.
Right.
Second, if you like to paint and sip, buy yourself an easel. I mean a canvas, a bottle of wine. You can set up an orange in the corner, and you can go live doing it and invite other people to join you. And it doesn't matter if nobody shows up the first 5 times.
Yeah, I tried the going live
Mm-hmm.
and that didn't work out so well. I was bullied, harassed, put down for one, my age, two, my looks, two, I'm a bigger girl.
Let me tell you something. Do you think that Amazon worked on the first day? Did the first Apple phone make it? You don't have to put it on yourself. Put it on the canvas. And then all they have to hear is your voice.
That's true. That's true.
And let me just tell you something. There's always going to be critics. And you know how I feel about my critics? Thank you for saying my name. Thank you for being in my comments. Thank you for being here, even watching me on the outside. I appreciate it. Because guess what? If they don't feed you, fund you, or F you, their opinion doesn't matter.
That is something that's hard for me to get over because growing up all the way from school age to my age now at 56. And even my deceased husband did that to me.
I know that, but guess what? You ever heard of fake it till you make it?
Yeah,
Sometimes you have to tell yourself something until you believe it. If
I've been
you
trying.
if you say to yourself every day, I can't do it, guess what? You won't do it. If you can't feel it today and you keep telling yourself you can't feel it today, you'll never feel it.
That's true.
It is hard to make friends when you're older. But like Fallon always says, if there's something you like to do, put it in a search bar. But you have the potential to create something fascinating. Fascinating. That people get to paint and sit from home. And guess what? That will help people who don't like to go outside. People who are homebound. They can't enjoy those things because they can't get out the door. But maybe they could sit on the edge of the bed and paint or color with crayons, pens, whatever. And you can tell them, pick any object in your home and let's do it.
That is true. That is so true.
Think about it.
I'm really gonna think about it. I'm off the next 3 days, well, starting tomorrow for the holiday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really gonna sit down and do some deep, deep thinking.
Okay. I'm gonna reach out to you later in the next couple of days.
Okay, hon. I'll be
Okay.
here.
All right, honey.
All right, thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Digital.
How are you?
It's good to hear your voice. I'm glad you took a break and taking care of yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I've always wanted to come up. I'm like, Digital has a big audience, but it's only 200 people today. So I was like, let me just hop up here. But no, I want to say, one, I like how you run your platform, especially in the morning, because it's organized. We get the details, and you tell us, you go watch the people for yourself. One point that made sense to me today is when you said, don't talk about TikTok with your family. I was at dinner with my mom a couple of weeks ago, and I was telling her about, you know, some of the people on this side of TikTok. And she was looking at me like, this is not real.
Yeah.
Like, she was like, this sounds like a Lifetime movie. This sounds like reality TV. I was like, Mom, it's better than TV.
Yes.
But in my talking to her, she kept saying, this is not real. You're lying, right? And it made me think that, okay, I need to pull back because when you get on this app, right, and you see this behavior, these people don't really act and behave the same on other platforms. And I
Mm-hmm.
had to say, wow, I think I'm consuming too much of this content, right? And so when you made that point about the mental health, that's so true. I used to have a page we talked before where I would, repost clips. I wasn't a troll, but I would just repost clips because people don't get it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I shut that page down because I didn't like how it made me feel. Like I just felt like it robbed me of peace. I live a very peaceful life. It's me, my dog. I work remotely. I can work from home. I have my own business, and I was just like, I don't like how this makes me feel. So I just had to step away and I was like, how can I be a solution? Because digital, one thing I don't like is manipulation.
Oh yeah.
And I find, and you echo this a lot. I like how you say you're raising the people's consciousness of what's really going on, because I work in tech and I know the online scams. I see it. We study it. So I was like, how can I be a solution? One thing that grinds my gears is the religious manipulation on this
Woo.
app.
Woo. Girl, me too.
I can't stand it. So
That
I said,
irks
how
me the most.
it grinds my gears. And so I said, okay, I got to be a solution. What can I do? Right. So one thing, I don't know, I'm not a theologian, but I'm now using my platform to just really give clarity on a lot of biblical misinterpretations that's, shared on this platform.
Mhm.
Um, and that's kind of where I'm going. So I just came up really to just share that I found myself getting too consumed because I was sharing this content with people in my real life and they just thought I was lying. But I like that you talked about our mental health. I'm almost 40. I believe in mental health. I have a therapist, and even talking to my therapist, she was like, "You need to back away." You need to back away. And so I was like, how can I be a solution and help people? Because when I did have that page digital, there were so many people, a lot of older people in my inbox was like, oh, I just sent $100 to so and so. And I just like want to put on my Superwoman cape and save them. Like, no.
Right. Absolutely. Because we know what it is.
Yeah, we know what it is. And then so just keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for sharing this information. And like you, I'm like, how can I be a solution and just raise people's consciousness? And what I'm doing is really just, like this morning I spoke about, should you beg or should you work? Like what's worth it? Because sometimes you can look at these people. I remember years ago, I first saw one lady on here, she got $1,400 in one day.
Yep.
Digital, when I tell you I did not log on to TikTok for like a week because I was so upset.
Ah, I believe me. I
You
did it.
know,
I
because
did it.
$1,400 is like one person's paycheck that they had to work 2 weeks for.
Yep. Absolutely.
So, like, if you are in the psychology field or a mental health specialist, TikTok is your platform. Your clients, your patients are on this app,
Absolutely.
So, thank you for that. And just let's all just take care of ourselves, step away. This app will be here, maybe it won't, but we are our best project. So, thank you, Digital, and you have a great community, and everybody have a great weekend.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I have followed you because I am interested and maybe we can go live together one day and
Maybe,
talk
girl, I'd be
about
a little bit, I'm still shy, Digital. You have a big audience, but when it comes to just the Bible and scripture,
I'll come to your audience.
okay, okay, cool, that's cool.
I'll come to your audience.
All right, sounds good. Everybody have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you so much for coming up.
Morning, my digital.
Good morning.
So I was gonna mention something to you. I am gonna be doing what is it? Awareness and consciousness about children being on jet skis and ski doos. Cause my stepson's friend's brother got murdered on a jet ski
I'm
on
so
Friday.
sorry to hear that.
And now his sister is dealing with this, like, she doesn't know what to do.
I can only imagine. She needs to join a support group.
Yeah, she was 14 years she is 14 years old. Her brother would have turned 14.
Mm, that's
And I try to get all the communities to come together and like teach these kids what's safe and what's not safe on the waters.
yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I believe every child should know how to swim. I believe that water safety is incredibly important.
Especially at that age where I hate to say it, but I think what the government needs to do is up the age to be on those jet skis.
Mm, probably true. They can't get
Because,
a driver's license, but they can drive on the water.
exactly. And they said it takes a 3-hour course for your personal watercraft. When I took my PCO, mine up in Ontario, mine was like almost a 5-hour course for mine.
Mm. Well, welcome to the United States.
Exactly.
Well, I think
And
that's fantastic.
yeah, because families need to learn what goes on the waters when you're not around, especially with children at the age under the age of 8, especially the children of the age under the age of 18.
I agree. I think that it's a fantastic platform to start because I don't know that there's a lot of that on here.
No, like I've seen it before with my cousin when she was 16. Because she learns that jet skis and ski-doos do not have brakes.
Right.
Unless you know the speed and how to avoid a collision with a boat.
Right.
Yeah, okay, I would talk to your state and see if they could up the age.
Well,
Because
why don't you do research and find out every state and their age requirement?
I know North Carolina is between the age of 14 and 16 has to be accompanied by an 18-year-old
Okay.
that has a valid
driver's license.
PSW.
Okay. Why don't
No,
you create a spreadsheet and put every state and then put the age, the minimum age, and then you could start there and then get
yeah,
people to start advocating to their local governments to see if they can't up it.
exactly. Because I don't want to see another family lose their child while on the waters.
I get it.
Because I told my stepson, you're not getting on a jet ski.
Yeah, I hear you. Oh, well, thank you for coming up.
Yes, I might have to get you to help me with that Canva again. It's been
Okay.
so long since I used it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, digital.
So wait, there was something I saw somebody say. Oh, yes. Somebody said something about the older you get. So I have a form. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. This has white in it, so forgive me if you can't read the comments. I created this page for myself several years ago, and it's called Letting It Go. Sometimes things happen and they upset us, right? And you'll have other people say to you, well, let it go. Just let it go. And a lot of times we feel like letting it go means that our feelings are no longer valid. Remember what I said, feelings aren't facts though, but it doesn't change how you feel about it. Remember what I said, feelings aren't facts though, but it doesn't change how you feel about it. So I created this form for myself. I've shared it with a few people, but I created this for myself. I write down the incident at the top, whatever it was. Somebody pissed me off. And then I have a list of feelings. And if it's not there, I write it at the top. And then there's the mantra. I accept the situation and my feelings about it. I am not a victim. This is a situation, and having negative feelings are normal. I have the right. No, wait, I don't. I don't have to be right, nor someone else be proved wrong for me to let it go. I forgive the person or situation to maintain my own well being and happiness. I focus on the things I have control over. Unknown and change is often scary. The unknown and change is often scary, but required to grow. I will do something to bring me joy or provide a distraction. And then these are the consequences if I do or I don't just accept it. So I would feed the memory or situation even more energy. I would make it even bigger and more powerful in my mind versus reality. I would relive it over and over again, but it doesn't change the situational facts. I would be distracted or worried by things I can't control, stunting my own growth. I accept the issue or memory becomes, if I do accept it. Okay, the first was if I don't. If I do, the issue or memory becomes less powerful in my mind. I won't hold on to the harmful emotions as deeply as I did before. And I will get better control over any negative self talk and move on with my life. The next thing is, what can I focus on to make progress or change my outlook? What one step I can take right now to make progress or change? Sometimes that's all you have. It may take you 6 months to get over something, but what can I do right now to make myself feel better? Hold on. I gotta turn the comments off. I'm sorry. Because I can't see it. Okay. I always choose to forgive and let it go because it provides the space for me to maintain my mental and emotional equilibrium. Something to choose how much or how little. Oh, I think I have the right to choose how much or how little I deal with the person or situation in the future. If someone is passive aggressive with me and that's how it is, then I feel comfortable being able to pull back. Like, I don't have to engage with you. Then long-term analysis of the situation. This is the most important part. In, I think it's 2 years, will this situation still have a lasting negative effect on my life? Yes or no? Because if it's not going to matter in 2 years, 10 years, 5 years, why does it matter now? Why can't I let it go now? Because the longer I hold on to it, the longer it's going to take me to get to the other side. That is a beautiful thing if you're in a relationship, married, even with like your friends. And the problem is that, like, when we're in high school, failing a test is the end of the world. Not getting asked to the dance is the end of the world. Not being in the clique of the most popular is the end of the world. And then you get to my age and you can barely remember it. Like, it's all a blip. But I had to learn how to let it go. And this is what I created to help myself do this. And then the final thing is, what will I do next time I face this to minimize the damage? And if at the end of it, I can't let it go, I do it again. I go through the whole thing again until I get to a place where I'm like, okay, sometimes I have to let it go feeling by feeling. But when I tell you that it has made me a happier, more positive person, It has helped the relationships I have chosen to maintain. I can't tell you. Okay, let me change this photo. Let me do the comments. I'm sorry, guys. I just couldn't see it. It's an amazing tool. I literally created that for myself. Learning to let things go makes your life better. When people were dragging me about my platform and I got accused of reporting pages, no, I didn't. The more energy I gave that, the less focused I could be on my platform. Now, had I stayed focused on it and thought about it every day, all day long, why are they dragging me? Why are they doing this? Well, guess what? I can't show up for you. This too shall pass. Yes, that is true. And there's also the law of diminishing returns. So it's funny because I think at the time that I like really learned this, I wanted an iPad. I wanted to jump through whatever hoop I could to get an iPad. This is when Oprah was giving them away for free. I wanted an iPad so badly. And what they helped me understand is that, okay, you want the iPad? Cool. Once you get it, your desire for it drops 25% because you got it. And as you work with it, it drops another 25% to the point where it becomes zero. The thing you desired most, once you attain it, it no longer has the same high that you had right before you purchased it. That's everything in life. So to expect one thing to fix your entire life is a misnomer. You're fooling yourself. Your mental health doesn't get better because you buy one thing, you go one place, you meet one person, you lose weight, you get married, you have a child. All you've done is add to the pressure you already have. Which is why I tell you to always make sure you are whole. You can't be anything to anybody around you if you're not whole. Now, are we all 100% whole? Of course not. We're imperfect. But each day, we should be working towards being whole. And then we can show up for the people we love. We have room for that then. But when you are consumed in your own head, how are you going to do anything for anybody else? Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Dee Dee. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
You know, I just wanted to add something to what you were discussing this morning, and it's probably going to upset some people, but what you said is facts ain't feelings, or feelings aren't facts. But, if somebody's going through something, please don't use this freaking app as your go to source. By the example the other day, you get somebody, they jump in 15 different boxes, and now the story has been manipulated 1,000 times.
And bastardized. Absolutely.
Don't do it. Just pick a battle buddy or one person you can confide in, or seek help off this app, but do not use TikTok for a mental health crisis because this app is not designed for it.
You must not have been here. I said that at the beginning. I said that at the beginning. Do not come
No, I
here.
wasn't.
Yeah, and that's okay. You are echoing what I have said. That this app is not meant for your mental health. It literally will tear it apart. Don't come here and because there's always going to be a critic. There's always going to be somebody looking to tear you down in your worst moments. Don't come here for it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just no. Don't be sorry at all. I feel very saddened by the chain of events that transpired. But there's only so much we can do, and if the other party's not a willing participant, then you just have to let it be. But even when you were explaining things in your chat, as you said before, people are off on a different subject. They're not even listening.
Right.
That's what I mean about this app. Everybody wants to get their point and their explanation out there, but by the time you explain it and put it out there, it's going to be changed in 5 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's horrible. I've never seen anything quite like it, but I wish people that are going through something, I wish them the best. I do. I know it's hard, but please don't use TikTok.
Yeah. That's why I also talked about parasocial relationships because people think people are their friend and they're not. It's a TikTok
No,
relationship only. And so the moment you need more of them than they're willing to give, suddenly you become a problem.
yeah,
So go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'm at a loss.
Yeah,
That's okay. I'm just,
listen, I am too. I am too.
you
We
know,
spent over an hour on the phone and he wasn't himself. And I can recognize that. So I
yeah,
purposely didn't take any offense to the things said because I recognize that they are not themselves. And I'm okay with that. I just want them to get the assistance they need. And for people to
yeah,
recognize that there is more going on. And just because you don't know it doesn't mean that there aren't other things happening. And that's
oh,
okay.
there's definitely things happening, but at the same time, he's got to stop messaging everybody.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Some of yeah, I mean, but
I
neither here or
agree.
there.
That's why there's a crisis. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And so, like, for those of us who recognize that it's a part of the crisis, we don't need to move on. Like, don't push it any further. You get a message, if you have to, ignore it, delete it. Don't worry about it because it's not going to get better until other things start to get better. You know what I mean?
exactly.
I
Okay,
was
well, that's
so
just all. I don't want to hold up your live.
Oh no, you're not. This is
You know,
open now. I have opened it to the floor, and I
yeah.
appreciate
I just
you coming up.
the people that are vindictive on this app is just overwhelming, and there's I don't know why people do the things they do, and I'm sure they probably don't know the reason why they do it either. But it's got to end at some point, you know. But the hate. There's just so much hate on this app, and it's consuming even good people. Good people are getting wrapped up in it.
Yep,
It's easy to do.
I agree, which is why I felt the need to do this today. I had decided to do this even before I talked to him because I could
Yeah.
see the decline happening, and so this was always my plan. But yeah, to me, this had to happen before I could talk about another scammer.
Well, all we can do is hope that we can get him on the right track. I don't know what else I can do. I've offered my services, and he just won't let go
Yeah,
of a single sentence. He just won't let it go,
yeah.
and I'm not going to be running around the merry-go-round chasing him. So
No, I would, and Until you said it the other day, I did not recognize the impact of what happened back in, what was it, June, July?
June 6th.
June 6th. Did not recognize the impact of that. I do now.
Hmm. Yeah, and that's deep to carry that much grudge and that much resentment from June. There's something else going on that's deeper.
Agreed.
So, and if he's listening, I love you, brother, and I'd be here for you in a heartbeat. All you got to do is just give me the word.
Absolutely. I concur.
Alrighty, I'm going to jump down. Thank you for letting me up. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, you too. Crystal Jean, I did not, but I'll go look for it. Oh, thank you. You're the problem. I appreciate you saying so. You're not alone. There's a lot of us going through stuff. And I just felt like if I can come and talk to you about scammers all day, talk about tea and drama and all of that, and it's very interesting, my number. It tells you a lot. I don't think I've gotten much over what 220, 230 maybe today. And by now there's usually 400 people in here. And that's okay. That's okay. I tell y'all all the time I would do this whether there was 5 or 1,000. It doesn't bother me. I just hope I touched enough hearts that it's worthwhile. That's it. I'm gonna get up here and I'm gonna talk about what I'm gonna talk about. It doesn't. The numbers never matter to me. I notice them, of course, but it doesn't matter. Good morning. Good morning. Now, does anybody want to come up and talk about Gabby? Cause I'm gonna be honest. I've been out of the loop, so I have no idea what's happened. Y'all want to talk about what's going on with the scammers lately? Be my guest. Because I honestly haven't been around. Correct, Natasha. Come on, y'all. I'm giving y'all an opportunity. Oh, thank you, Japonica. I'm giving y'all the opportunity to talk about it. I'm sorry, sensory mama. I don't even know. Apparently, Gabby is Gabby. Cam was taken, which is a scary thought. Cause that means she is going to be off her rocker. It's gonna be more than usual. He was taken from school, so she didn't. I mean, oh God. Thank you, sweet sassy. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Um, Thank you for having this live. It really brought emotions out. And we're all human beings. It don't matter who you are, it's hard.
Yep, I get it, honey.
We need to protect our mental health, but we also don't need to, when you confide in somebody, sometimes I notice in a lot of these other groups, people will turn on you and use your mental illness against you, and it's wrong. But I still do awareness. I just don't go live, and the body shaming and judging people on how they look, what they drive, where they live, it really has to stop.
I agree, because none of us are better than anybody else.
No, no.
And
It
your
just
possessions mean nothing because they can all be taken away.
and it's hold on. Yeah, I'm emotional, but it's sad. I remember when I first got on TikTok, I liked it better the old ways, and it especially when everybody knows Becky, and it makes me sick that people will down her, and
Hmm.
we all need we all need a friend, we all need somebody, sometimes even in person. A hug does me, just getting a hug from my husband, or
Hmm.
I just have never been the type to judge somebody, and I know you don't. But I don't know. It's sad because it don't matter. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to cry. We all matter. It don't matter our skin color, how big or how small we are, what we live in, what we drive. It don't matter because at the end of the day, we cannot take any of that with us when we go to the grave.
Correct. Correct. We could lose everything we have in our freedom.
Exactly.
And so I don't believe in that. I don't care about where you live, what you live in, what your family situation is. None of that matters to me. Not because you can be up today and down tomorrow.
Exactly. And it's fake it till you make it. I have put on a lot of my life. I put on a smile. I didn't come from a very good background. I chose to better myself. I didn't want to live how I was brought up. I
Hmm.
made the change, and that's a lot of people will use that as a crutch, but you can better yourself from a situation. You just have to have that mindset and choose to.
Correct. 110%.
And like,
Even it doesn't even matter your age.
no, it don't. And
You can do it
uh,
at any time. And for people to not recognize that Becky is in a situation where she is stifled
thank
as
you,
a
Lee.
person, and you still make jokes about her, degrade her. I don't like the fact that she begs, but I
Me,
have empathy for her circumstances.
and
And
see,
that's what people have lost is empathy.
I guess. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm crying. I just see it too much on this app, and
I get it, honey.
I have a her, and I used to get picked on, and I don't like it. I don't know. I just wish we could all just get along and be better people to each other. And these scammers, beggars, and whatever, if they call you a name, just leave. Get it. I mean, I'm like, for instance, Sean. He calls names. I decide I'm not gonna stoop to that level
Mhm.
because they just want to feed off the drama, and I'm not into the drama. When I did my lives, I did them, and I gave everybody a chance to talk. I don't do a whole bunch of boxes at once like you. You let people up like one or two at a time, and that's how I like. I don't like the yelling and all that. And I don't know. It's just we're all human at the end of the day. We all make mistakes. We're all guilty of something. We just have to work on ourselves and be there. Like I tell everybody, my messenger is open, and anybody that wants to message me, I'm always here. I do not repeat anything, and people can tell you that I do not repeat what people tell me unless they ask me to. I keep it to myself. It's just, and it's hard. I know it's hard to trust people on here with everything that's been going on, but my husband tells me I'm like the bank vault. You cannot get anything out of me.
That's an amazing character to have.
I've always been like that. It's just, I, it's been done to me. That's why I just, it means a lot that there's somebody that you can actually trust and know that they will never say anything unless you, if they tell you to. If they, so I always, that's just how I am. And I've met a lot of people on here, and I hope people can tell you that I do not judge. I've always looked at people the same.
Yes, yeah, I can tell that. You've been around for a minute, and I've never seen you act anything other than honorable.
And I've been following you for a long time, and I think a lot of you, I love watching you.
Thank you.
You're, I wish everybody could hold a platform like you do, because it'd be, I feel like it'd be a better place for everybody.
Well, hopefully, more people will be inspired to do a platform that is consistent across the board. And you ran an excellent platform as well. So
Thank you.
if you
I did.
ever decide to do it again, you would pick up exactly where you left off.
I want to.
Go
I
ahead.
stepped back because I saw the things that was going on, and I don't want to be part of any of this stuff like the doxing, the going after people in real life, bringing up kids, posting. I don't want any part of that, and that's,
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen to me. I don't want it to happen to anybody else, and that's why I just took a big step back. I mean, I still will do stuff on the back to help, like Fallon and All for One, but I just, for my mental health, feels best that I just stepped away, and I'm still here. I don't know if I'll go do my own lives. I've been thinking about it. I just don't know yet.
I understand. Believe me, I understand. I
But
understand.
I'm gonna drop. But thank you, everybody. And if
We
you have
appreciate you,
somebody,
Cassie.
if you have anybody near you, please give them a hug, because a hug does wonders for me. It does for me. I don't know for anybody else, but
Oh, it does for me too.
even
I told my man, if I'm really upset and I can't calm down, hug me and I'll calm down immediately.
that's me. And always tell your loved ones, don't matter what they're doing, tell them that you love them. So, but thank you.
Well, you're getting a virtual hug from me. Wrap
Thank
your
you.
arms around yourself and that's
Well,
me hugging you.
you're getting one. You're getting one from me, but yeah, it hit emotions today, and just thank you very much for everything that you do.
Thank you. I didn't really do awareness today or any of that. Today was about our mental health. Oh, yeah, absolutely hug your children. I don't care how old they are. Well, I'm going to end it here, guys. I appreciate you. I know tomorrow is supposed to be Digital After Dark. I'm not sure if I'm going to hold it or not. I'm going to be 100% honest. This week has been a whirlwind. And I haven't decided. But okay, Crystal Jean. But if you don't see anything on my account, we're having it. If you do, then we're not. So I'll just say it that way. But we're definitely gonna do it. We're definitely gonna do it because I think that's an important subject as well but I'm just not sure if this is the right week. There will be a sub live on Sunday. Absolutely. There will be a sub live on Sunday at 7 p.m. So I appreciate everybody who stuck around. Again, I hope it touched some hearts today. Um, and this isn't the end. We'll be talking about our mental health um, on a semi regular basis, because we never know who's going to be here. They might have come in for something completely different and needed this. I love you guys too. Truly, I do. You are what gets me up. You guys are what makes me talk for 3 hours. So please hug your loved ones, because tomorrow isn't promised. And please, please, please do some self care. Turn the screen off if you have to. Whether it's 15 minutes, 10, 5, or 1 minute, start somewhere. You don't have to do a big thing to have an impact. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will see you guys either Saturday night, Sunday night for the sub live, or we will be back to regular scheduled programming Monday morning at 6:30 a.m., God willing. Have a fantastic Friday, guys. And thank you for being here. I appreciate it.